All right, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is November 17th, and we have another fantastic workout for you all today. Full body with some static holds. What you need for this workout for the warm-up is just a single kettlebell or dumbbell. It is November, and we are doing 50 kettlebell swings a day, so you want to make sure you're getting your kettlebell or your dumbbell set up for that. And then for the workout, we will be using double dumbbells and kettlebells for various movements. So you can go ahead and grab that. There are two movements I want to review before we get started. So in the workout, we have alternating step-ups. So if you have a box with you, you can do a standard step-up, one leg, come up, full extension at the top, step down. If you don't have a box, we're going to do a reverse lunge to knee raise with alternating legs. So what that will look like is you will step back into your lunge, and with that same leg, come up and bring it up, put it down, step back with the other one, come up and put it down, step back here, step back here, and later on with the workout, we'll be doing that with weight. So if you don't have a box, I'm going to be doing that one as well, so I can keep demoing that. Nicole's going to use the box in the back if you have that. And then I just want to review the power snatch again a little bit. So we're going to do a single dumbbell alternating power snatch. So two heads are on the ground. When we're bending down in our snatch position. So we should be having our butt going down. Our back should be keeping a good positioning. We shouldn't be bending over and caving at the back. And it's not like a deadlift where you really bend over at the waist. We're lowering our legs down. My back and butt are in good position. And we're keeping it close to the body like you're zipping your jacket and then jumping under and going up into that upright position overhead. So from here to here. You could switch hands on your way down or on the ground. Both heads will touch the ground. So we're down all the way in our position and keep it close. And then up and under to that full extension. Make sure when you're at the top that your elbow is locked out, that your hips come all the way up when you come into that full extension position. Those are the only two moves that I just wanted to touch on. We're going to be doing some goblet squats, glute bridges, bicep curls, and plank rotations, but I will demo them as we're going. It's nothing that we haven't done before. So we're going to go with our 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Why don't you go ahead and grab what weight you need for the warm-up, and we'll get started in a second. Huh? Well, and other things. All right. So that first movement in our warm-up, we're going to start with either alt step-ups or the reverse lunge to knee raise. No weight. We're going to be alternating legs. And we're going to go. Take a quick sip here. In. Good to go? Yep, 10 seconds. Three, two, one, go. So you're doing your step-ups or your reverse lunge to knee raise. When you bring that knee up, really tighten your core. Using your hip flexors to get that knee up. Stepping back, kissing the knee in the back. Later on, we'll be doing these with farmer carry holds. One more. Great. All right, grab a dumbbell or a kettlebell. We're going to do some goblet squats. So dumbbell Grabbing it underneath. Kettlebell, you can hold it by the horns or grab the bell, whichever you prefer. Get in that squat stance position. Go down, send the knees out. You can even add a little 2-second pause at the bottom and come back up. Just mobilizing our ankles, our hips, initiating with a hinge, sending our butt back first to engage the glutes and the hamstrings in the movement. Ten seconds. Just waking everything up. And rest. Now we're gonna go into some glute bridges. So we're gonna get on the ground. And what you really wanna be careful for in here is that you're not overarching your back. So we're gonna put our feet down and really just get a straight line from our knees to our shoulders. So down, come up, squeeze your glutes, and also think about bringing your legs together, squeezing those inner thigh, the adductors. Nice straight back. We don't want to be up here to overly arched. Straight line from your knees to your shoulder blades. Squeeze and activate. And rest. That'll be helping us in our kettlebell swings in a little bit. Now grab your weight for the alternating power snatch. So really focus on the form in the warm-up. Weight's on the ground, we're step between it, we're lowering our back and hips together. Locking the lats, keep it close, and then switch how you like. Both heads touch. Remember, keep that weight close to you as you're bringing it up and shrugging, and then punch under it when you get up. And rest. Good. Now we're going to do a single dumbbell kettlebell bicep curl. You can hold it by both heads, or you can also hold it underneath and press it this way, or almost like a goblet squat hold. And that'll just change up a little bit about the focus of where you're hitting. Remember, we're not rocking. Nice straight back. Everything else is tight. During the workout, you could even think about changing it up. One set like this. One set holding the heads. And rest. And now we're going to go into the planks. So we're going to start in front plank. And then every 5 seconds, we're going to rotate. Front, right side, reverse, left side. So get in that good plank position. Hands are under the shoulders, feet are back, widen or skinnier on the base as you need to. Now we're going to lean in and float that right hand up, stacking our feet and our hips in line. From here, I'm not so graceful, but drop back into a reverse plank. So my hands are under my shoulders, I'm on my heels. I am punching my hips up. And now we go to the other side, keep rotating. And come on down. All right. Great little warm up there. and a preview of all the moves that we're going to do during the WOD. Now we're going to go into our 50 daily unbroken swings that we're doing in November. We're about halfway, a little bit more than halfway through the month, so you definitely want to be picking something. If you haven't gone up in weight or you have the ability to increase a little bit, this is a good time to start doing that. If the weight you have is too heavy for 50, go for 30. The point is unbroken. We're going chest height. All right, we're trying to do this in under 3 minutes, which everyone seems to be able to do without a problem. And make sure we're always thinking about being in good position when we start, hiking it up from the middle and bringing it up to shoulder height in 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Driving hips, squeezing glutes, quads. Like you're pushing the ground away. Swing it down carefully, hike it back, and lower it to the ground. Woo! That's a cold kettlebell. All right. There's not much that gets you warmed up like 50 kettlebell swings unbroken. All right, take a quick sip. And let's talk about the WOD a little bit. So here was what we got today. We're doing 6 movements. So think of a circuit rotation of 6 movements, 30 seconds of active movement, 15 seconds of hold for every one. So I'm going to cue you and talk you through, but basically we're doing this 24 times through or 4 times through complete of the 6 moves. So every move is done 4 times. First one is going to be a double dumbbell farmer's carry. Sorry. Double dumbbell farmer's carry. You're either stepping up for 30 seconds or doing that move from the warm up. Then we're going to hold for 15 seconds here and then put it down and transition in 15 seconds. Next move is going to be front squats. So make sure at least one dumbbell head is touching the shoulder. I like to really kind of get my elbows up and tilt those weights a little back on them. Going down into our full squat, below parallel. Send your legs out, press them out on the way up, and stand. Front squats for 30 seconds. And then we're going to hold our front rack. If you're looking for a little something extra for the hold, you could come down into your squat, but not all the way. I don't want you sitting down and taking a rest. Think more like wall sit. So holding it about halfway or where your thighs are just parallel so they're engaged. So that's a scale up. Then we're going to go into our power snatches. One side, 1 minute on the right arm. And then our hold will be our overhead hold. Then we'll do the same thing on the left side in round 4. Round 5 will be our bicep curls. And the hold will be a 90-degree hold for 15 seconds. So again, maybe you do it one way this way, maybe another set, you're doing it more like a hammer curl, and then we're gonna hold, locking everything in so we're not sagging. And then the last round is gonna be glute bridges. With the glute bridge, everything is the same, except we're gonna put the weight on our hips. So as we go down, weights on my hips, and I'm doing the same movement. This is just adding some resistance, some load. The hold is in this position. All right. And then we're going to do that over again. I will cue you throughout the process, so don't worry about remembering all of those. What you should do is think about a scale is 1 dumbbell or kettlebell instead of using 2, or doing body weight only. And then thinking about that weight, picking the right weights. If you have multiple weights and you want to switch them, I'm fine with that. You might be able to do a heavier glute bridge or a heavier single dumbbell bicep curl than you are doing with your front squats or your power snatches. So I'm gonna pause for any questions. I'm gonna let you folks get whatever you need weight-wise. So if you need if you have a question or you need an alternate move out, shoot that out now. And otherwise, I'm gonna grab my stuff as well and get the clock set.
Hey, Eric.
It's time-based, yeah. You're not trying to hit a certain rep scheme. You're just working for 30 seconds.
Hey, Eric, I have a
Yes.
quick question.
Go ahead.
If I can, what would you advise? If I have a 20-inch, but the 35s are too heavy to do that, but I can do it on a lower bench, or should I go lighter and do the 20?
Do you have something lighter than 35s or no?
I do, yeah. I have.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I think getting the height on the step is a little bit better for. It's more about the legs.
Okay.
And getting that load on the legs. So I think doing a step with a little lighter weight is probably better than doing a lower height with a heavier.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Does that answer the question? Great. I'm going to get my equipment set up. You always switch. First round is a good round to just kind of gauge everything. And then if you have weight and you want to adjust for the second, third, and fourth round, that's good. I'm going to work through the first round. Round 2, I'm going to cue and then get back in it for 3 and 4. All right. Here we go. We got a special timer Beth sent me. And we got our equipment. Too many. Let's see. No, I didn't say that I have too much equipment, and my wife definitely didn't hear me say that. Just so you all know, we're deleting this from the video. This is not going back in. Strike this from the record. I never said I have too much equipment. All right, here we go. 10 seconds. Starting up with the step ups or the reverse lunge to knee in. 3, 2, 1, go. Remember, activate that core as you're bringing that knee up. 3, 2, 1. All right, hold the farmer's carry now. Good posture. My shoulders are back and down. Locking everything in, corkscrewing my legs from the ground. 3, 2, 1. Rest. And transition. Next up is front squats with the front rack hold. 3, 2, 1. Clean the weight up. Two, one, hold that front rack. Everything's tight. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, next up is our power snatch. Right arm only. We are not alternating. 3, 2, 1, go. Keeping it close. And hold overhead for 15. Lock everything out. Engage your core. Squeeze your glutes. Don't let your back sag in. 3, 2, 1. Down to the shoulder. Down to the ground. Left arm now. 3, 2, 1. Go. You ready to hold? Now, everything is tight. I'm really working on not letting my lower back arch. And I'm doing that by engaging my glutes and down. All right, now we're going into the bicep curl with a 90-degree hold. 3, 2, 1, and deadlift it up nicely. Keeping my back calm, putting all the work into my biceps. Now we have a 90-degree hold. Squeeze everything tight. I'm holding my shoulder blades together. I'm squeezing the weight together. All my lower half is tight. 3, 2, 1, rest. And now we're going into glute bridges. Last round of the first set. 3, 2, 1. So you're just resting that weight on your hips and activating. Remember, we're not overextending or overarching our back here. Straight line from your shoulder blades to your knees. Squeeze those glutes. Squeeze your inner thigh. 2, 1. Hold in that upper position. And breathe. All you have to do is squeeze and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Rest. All right, going back to the top. With the farmer's carry, step ups, or all lunges. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Get that knee up above your hips. And really squeeze the core. Three, 2, 1, hold. Remember, engage. We're not just doing the dead hold with bad posture. This is how you're strengthening your posture, so then when we're walking around without weights, we're more upright. And rest. Next one is our front squats. So you've been through round 1. Make sure you have the right weight for round 2. 2, 1, go. Pick them up. Clean them to your shoulders. And go. Three, 2, 1. Hold that front rack. Two, 1. Bring them down carefully. Going into our single right arm power snatches. 3, 2, 1, go. Probably one more. 2, 1, and hold. I put my hand out just to counterbalance a little bit. My shoulder is tight. My elbow is locked out. 3, 2, 1, bring it down. And get ready for the left arm. Woo! I felt that set. All right. Really focus on form, keeping it close. 2, 1, go. Lock your lat in as you're coming up. Last one. 1, hold. This is where you just find a little happy place and put yourself there for 15 seconds. Rest. All right, back to the bicep curls. Remember, you could switch up your hold. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna try holding underneath now for this round. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, halfway. Really lock everything in. Think about externally rotating your legs from your ankles all the way up. 2, 1, and rest. All right, going into glute bridges. Two, one, go. Small movement, but works a big group of muscles. And hold. Rest. So much of our work in CrossFit initiates with a hip hinge. And this is great work for that. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Back to the top with our step ups or lunge to knee in. 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1, hold, get that hold going. Remember, engaging. Shoulders back and down. 3, 2, 1, rest. Get them down. Going back to our front squats. Three, 2, 1, go. Keep everything up. Keep those elbows up. Don't let your back fall over. Looking straight out in front of you. 3. Bracing your core. And rest. Stand up. Front rack hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring them down. Back to the power snatches. 3, 2, 1, go. Seconds. 3, 2, 1. And hold. Rest. 3, 2, 1. Down. All right. Feeling that in my traps. Going left. You're doing great. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Go. 2, 1. Rest with the hold. This is how CrossFitters rest, by doing work. 3, 2, 1. And now some real rest. Going back to our bicep curls for round 3. 2, 1, go. So when you hold it by the heads, you get more of a sort of hammer curl position. So you're going to get a little more forearm, a little bit more to the outer part of your bicep. And when you go underneath with that supinated grip, you get a little bit more concentration. 2, 1, halfway. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Woo! That one got spicy. Third round of glute bridges. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1. And hold. Rest. Three, 2, 1. Rest. All right. 3 down in the tank. 1 to go. 3, 2, 1. Go. Back up to those step up. Last round, make sure you're dialing in the form. 3, 2, 1, and hold. Rest. Active farmer's carry, active shoulder blades, down and back. Squeezing glutes, sucking my belly button in. 2, 1. And down. Rest. Front squats next. Last round of front squats. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1. Rest. Farmers, front rack hold. Same thing though, engaging everything down below to work up top. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Snatches. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. 1, hold. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Man, that's almost like a standing plank in some ways because you're bracing your core so much. 3, 2, 1, left side. 5 seconds, get one more. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Go, hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Bicep curl. Last one. Woo. 3, 2, 1, go. Three, two, one, rest. Hold. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right. Final move, last glute bridge. And then we got a beautiful plank finisher. And of course, our mobility. 3, 2, 1, go. Really squeeze every rep, make every rep count. Three, two, 1, rest. Hold. Squeeze and hold. And breathe. 3, 2, 1, done. All right. Woo! Not super taxing on the cardio, but some great strength work there. Probably got anywhere from 32 to 40 plus reps in each movement. All right. So now, as you're catching your breath and getting a little water, we're going to go into a plank finisher. This is a standard kind of Tabata setup. So we're doing 8 rounds of 20-second on and 10-second off. And we're going to do a few different planks. So first 20 seconds, we're going to do a right side plank. If you want to add a little something to it, you can do like a T with your off arm and use a weight. I wouldn't, if you've never done this before, I wouldn't recommend anything heavy, but you would basically just hold that arm up to the sky with a little weight in there. Right side for 20 seconds, left side for 20 seconds. We're going to do our single dumbbell or kettlebell slide in plank. So while you're in your plank position, start with the weight behind your hands on one side of your body. Oh. Sorry about that. Start with the plate on or dumbbell on one side of your body. Drag it over, switch, drag it over. Light drag, pick up and pull it across. We're going to do that. And then last one is a very slow shoulder tap. So what we don't want is like this kind of thing. We want a nice, slow, and deliberate tap. That really is going to tax you to hold stable on 3 points as opposed to 4. We're doing each of those 2 times through. All right. So get what you need. Floor and one weight is all you need.
Side drag.
And yourself and gravity. And here we go in 10 seconds, starting with a right side plank. Add the weight if you like. 3, 2, 1, go. Make sure your hips are stacked. Everything is in line. Don't let those hips sag towards the ground. Make sure neck, shoulders, hips, and ankles are all in line. 2, 1. Bring the weight down carefully first. If you're using that, switch sides. 3, 2, 1, go. You can stack your feet or you can move them out and have them staggered a little bit for more balance. 2, 1, bring it down first. Now we're going into plank drag. 2, 1, go. Really have your hips parallel to the ground. Try not to be rocking too much. Goal is stability. 2, 1. And now that slow, deliberate tap. 1, go. Here's a place where if you feel off balance, you should widen your stance in the back. Harder it is, the more narrow it is, the harder it is. And rest. Going back to the top. Side plank. 2, 1, go. Make sure you're not bending at your hips, down or back for that matter. 2, 1, rest, bring it down carefully. If you have the weight, switch sides. 2, 1, go. And down, back to that drag. 3, 2, 1, go. Really brace everything in your midline. Squeezing glutes, quads, hip flexors, abs. Rest. And then we're going to finish off with that slow tap. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo. Here we go. Touch. Nice and deliberate. Holding that isometric. Challenging your core to stay balanced. Everything is in line, neck is neutral. 2, 1, and rest. All right. We got just enough time for some mobility work. Grab a water, grab a place on the floor. All right. So we are going to start with saddle pose. So for saddle, you're on your legs, you're sitting on your feet. My toes are untucked and I am leaning back. Now I'm not super flexible here, so I'm just going to stay here. Some people are really good and can go all the way down to their elbows or lay down. That's just not me. But we are hitting up our ankles. I widen my hands a little bit to go lower. We're hitting up our quads and our hip flexors. So I am thinking about squeezing my glutes to get that extra stretch reflex in my quads. If this is too much on your ankles, bring your legs out a little bit or come up off of your hands. And as you sit in this, you might be able to go back a little further. 2, 1, come out of it carefully. And we are going into table. So put your feet underneath you, under your hips, shoulders behind you. I like to point my hands back. Some people like to point them towards their feet, but we are basically making a table. You want a right angle at your shoulders and a right angle at your knees. I am not sagging my hips. So just like our glute bridge, I'm squeezing our glutes. I'm sending my hips towards the sky. You should really feel this across your upper pecs, your shoulders, your biceps. Again, you can play around. I like my hands going backwards. Some people like them going towards their feet. Whatever's comfortable for you. And as you let that head sink back, feel all that upper body open up. Love this stretch. And breathe. 2, 1, down. Now we're going to do dragon, which is kind of like lizard. So we're going to get into that lunge position. My back foot's untucked. But instead of going down, I'm going to bring this knee forward. This is another ankle mobilization. So my knee is actually out over my toes. My back leg, my foot is untucked, so I'm still sinking in and getting that extra stretch in my hip flexor and in my upper hamstring, low glute. But I'm adding that knee pressing forward, keeping my heel on the ground, and doing sort of the counter stretch to the saddle with the ankle mobility. So you should feel this coming down through your Achilles. And then all through your groin area, hip flexors, adductors, hamstrings, glutes. 2, 1. Back out of that. Bring the left leg up, same movement. Untucking my right toes, sending that front knee past my toes as far as I could go without bringing the heel up. And then just resting into it. This time I'm going to really focus on just kind of letting my body sink in. My body weight is resting on my quad. And just think about settling into the stretch, letting everything loosen up in those target areas. Really getting a good stretch in my right hip flexor. And building up that ankle mobility for our squats, our thrusters, our wall balls, and our Olympic lifting. All right, step out of that into a plank. Right knee behind your right wrist into the pigeon. Untuck your toes in the back. Make sure that left leg is at 6 o'clock. You could start in that high pigeon position, but as you feel good, start coming down, move your hands forward, try and get to your elbows. You can also stack the fists and rest your hand, or you can go all the way to the ground. Sitting back into my hips. Sometimes I use that back toe to kind of pull my body and hips back. And I'm also thinking about making sure my left hip is still pointing towards the ground. You shouldn't have any pain in your knee or ankle. Just breathing that out, coming out of your glute, down the IT band. For most of us, this is probably screaming most of the time. All right, back out of it. Come back to your plank. Left knee behind left wrist. Untuck that right toe. Make sure it's at 6 o'clock. I use it to bring my hips back and center myself. Start high. As you get more comfortable, walk those hands forward. Make it to your elbows. Stack the fists. Drop your head. My right hip is pointing to the ground. It's not coming up. No pain in my knee. Using my toe to drag my hips back a little bit more and sink into the stretch and breathing. Two. And come out of it. All right. As hard as you work out, it's also important to recover hard. So treat your body well. As usual, you all did a great job. I'm sweating. I know you're sweating because you're working harder than me always. And I appreciate you coming. You should feel great about your accomplishment for the day. It's only 7:30 and look how much you got done. We'll be here next week. I know probably Friday after Thanksgiving, I think we're planning a Zoom, but Beth will let you know. And yeah, I look forward to it every week. So I appreciate you guys showing up.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Move well. Have a great day.
Take it easy.
All right.